All right, Eddie, what's this?
Hey guys, so for years people have asked me about like what I do with agriculture. How does that differ from agriculture that you see? Well, if you're from Iowa or you're from somewhere in the Midwest, that's all corn and soybean, giant crops all together, one monocrop. Here it used to be sugarcane and pineapple, and that's what left a desert behind it. It decimated the land. So now my theory of agriculture is an agroforestry system that we can start harvesting off of within months, and we can harvest off of for years on multiple layers, and it's based on native and endemic plants as well as the voyaging plants that have grown here for perhaps thousands of years. Right here on this, we have a mix. We have papaya that we've already harvested almost 300 pounds off of.
Yep.
We have tea leaf, which is used for all sorts of things. There's two different types of sugar cane. There's rosemary, there's basil. We already harvested about 15 to 20 pounds of turmeric out of here, which you can't see now. There's a soursop tree on the other side, which you guys might know as guabana, and that's gonna be a short tree that'll do well in the shade. And then the main feature of this island is a breadfruit tree. This breadfruit tree's only been in here for a month or so. It'll stay short while the papaya tree dominates. The papaya tree will only last for 2 years. We'll cut it, it will become food for the ulu tree. Within 6 years, the ulu tree will be producing anywhere from 300 to 600 pounds a year. And every year that will keep building by 10% for the next 60 years. So you're talking about food security. You're also talking about being able to harvest things on the way to that food security. And you're talking about a beautiful agroforestry system that has diversity. This is just one type of island. This is many different plants and scenarios we do it with. We repeat the islands. There's another one behind you with sugarcane, papaya, chili pepper, coconut instead of ulu. And you can see how that one's set up. Now, if you can imagine acreage with different islands. This one has sugarcane, it has tapioca, it has a mountain apple tree in it, it has turmeric and taro, which you can't see in the underlayer. And these three islands together are worth about $9,000 a year. So 100 islands, when you do the math on them, there's a really good economical value for them. So these are just part of the really cool things about regenerative agriculture. I'm building soil, I'm building land, I'm leaving it better than when I came, and I have a byproduct of awesome food. So now how do we bring that into conservation? This is where the SeaTrees program comes in. Where what we're doing here with agriculture, most agriculture is really detrimental. Most of the agriculture we've seen has taken places like this and left a mess. And so that means the soil is running straight down the hill into the ocean. So what we're doing is we're taking our islands and some of the plants that we grow, and we're setting them up in a fashion along with natives where they mitigate that. They actually start to build that ecosystem up that will filter that water that comes down the highway and that comes down, and it will actually take sediment. It'll keep the dirt and the sediment on the land, but it will also filter out toxins and other things while providing shade and a healthy ecosystem, dropping organic material onto the ground, which basically also sequesters carbon. So the idea of what we're doing with regenerative agriculture, to have belts of conservation around them that protect the surrounding areas, the ocean, whatever it is. If it's a lake below you, we need to think about how we plant and what happens in the wake of that, or what's left behind in what you're doing.
Yeah, and how conservation, restoration, regeneration, and regenerative ag actually work together as a stronger, more powerful way for healing the land. Right?
No, I think that's a really important point.
And the ocean.
We've looked at these giant agricultural systems, and they're based on the farmer and money, and they often don't work with nature. They leave all kinds of nasty repercussions behind. So how can we take an agricultural system that works with nature rather than displacement, actually tries to adopt these green belts, these areas that allow natives to coexist, that instead of displacing everything like we've pretty much, our era, we sort of learn to displace things rather than to try to coexist with them. So what we're trying to do is coexist with nature here, replenish it, while also being able to take for ourselves and our community. And I think that's what regenerative agriculture looks like, my vision of it, and what the future can look like for us. And if you walk around here, you'll feel it. I not only see it, but you'll feel it. And I don't know how to explain that. You'll taste it. I can explain that when you put it in when you taste it. But from the looks, I think you can start to get more of a feeling of pono, and that means things are in balance and there's a good feeling, rather than going into a place and going, wow, this is just decimated, and and that's where my food comes from. You know, so we want to start to feel good about where our food comes from.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's keep
Take
moving.
a walk, yeah, and check it out. So